Al Green, Here I Am. All right. Also covered by UB40. Pretty basic song here. Some chords. A little bit of a blues soloing going on. Nothing too crazy though. What I'll do is I'll just play through all the different sections for you here. Just right off the top, just jam right through them. And I'll go back through afterwards and give you a little more of a guided walkthrough with some details. Before we get to all that, pretty please hit that subscription button and help out the channel. It'd be much appreciated. All right, and no further ado, let's get into Here I Am by Al Green. All right, and for starters, we have this kind of signature riff of the song, I guess. It's mostly horns, but a guitar can accompany it pretty well. And basically what we're going to do here is just back and forth between a couple chords. Start with the F sharp minor, so just bar the 2s, 4 on the A and the D. Okay, hit it once, let it ring. Before the measure's out, we do a couple of strums on a open E here. Okay, open top E, 2 and 2 on the A and D, 1 on the G, open B and E. And you just want to do a couple strums on this before the measure's out. And then next measure, we just come back to that F sharp minor. Strum it and let it ring out that measure. Okay, pretty simple. Okay, and for the verses, there's a little bit of soloing that's going on here, just small riffage, I guess. If you want, you just go ahead and strum an F sharp minor. If you just want to do straight up chords, you just, kind of jam around on the F sharp minor. Just get the feel for it, I guess, and come up with your own strumming that sounds nice for you. In the recorded guitar version, we're doing this a little something more like this, where we're picking through that F sharp minor chord. All right, so we'll start here on, say, the 4, the D. Just hit it. Okay, now we're going to go 2D back to 4. Then we go 2G to 4D. Okay, it's just a small little blues thing that happens for the first measure. And for the second measure, we're just going to hit that bottom 2 strings, the B and E, for that F sharp minor. Okay, so just 2nd fret there on the B and E. And we're just going to strum on those about, 8th note style. Okay, about 8 strums there. And then we would just go back and do that little blues riff for the first measure. Repeat that a couple of measures about 3 times. And for the fourth time through, we would do the first measure the same. Okay, F sharp minor chord. But then we end it by doing the final measure. Instead of the eighth note strums on that bottom part of the F sharp minor chord, we're going to come up to an A chord and strum that the same way. Okay, just full A chord. All right, and just do about 7-8 strums there. All right, and that'll get us into our pre-chorus section. Okay, so let's just do this whole verse pattern all together now. Okay, for the pre-chorus now, essentially we're just going to be bouncing between a B chord and the F sharp minor chord. Okay, it'd be more or less a measure of B and then a measure of the F sharp minor, and we're just going to go between that about 4 times. So if you just want to do strum straight up chords, you can go that way. The recorded version, it's a little more involved. Essentially, we're just, for the first measure, hitting B chord, strumming on that a little bit, but for the F sharp minor section, we get into these little blues riffs that kind of alternate throughout this pattern. Okay, so for starters, we'll do this B chord, and you just kind of want to worry about, say, like the G and the B string of it, the 4s there on the G and the B, and just do about 4 strums there. Okay, then we come off to 2s on the G, B, and E for part of that F sharp minor, strum it, and then hit the bass note for the F sharp minor there on the 4 of the D. Okay, something like that. And once we get into that F sharp minor, okay, that'll lead us into the second measure where we do the kind of scaling around in that F sharp minor. And the initial run, it'd be something like this, where we kind of slide up to 2 on the B, hit the open E, and then come back through the chord by doing 2B, 2G, 4D. Okay, so slowly be something like, okay, just a little blues riff here. And like I said, that's going to change every time we get to the F sharp minor throughout this pattern. Okay, so we would go back into our B chord again, play it the same way. Okay, come off to those 2s, and then the 4 on the D, and this F sharp minor riff, we come up a little higher now, slide up to 7B, hit the 5E, okay, then go back down, go 4, 2G, 4D. Okay, new little riff. All right, and of course next, back to the B chord, off to 2s, 4D. All right, now kind of a scale up and back down. We're going to go 2-4A, 2-4D, 2-4G, hit the 2B, 2G to 4D. Okay. Fun little scale. And final time through, hit that B chord section again, off to 2s and the 4D. All right, and here we can do kind of a hammer-on pull-off, 2-4-2 on the G, 4 on the D, hammer-on 2-4G, 2B, 2G, 4D. Something like that. All right, so, just fun little interlaced F sharp minor blues riffs in there. You don't have to do it verbatim. If you want to do your own little pentatonic minor scales in that F sharp minor, let her rip, have fun with it. Let's just play this all up to speed now, give you more of a feel of it. once the chorus comes along, pretty basic here. We're just, once again, bouncing between two chords. This is just kind of more of a feel thing, I guess. We'll jump up to the A chord, and we're going to split the measure with the chords now, okay? So two chords per measure. Hit the A chord, give it a little bit of like a couple dead strings, just as like a shuffle strum. Okay. Come back to the A, another little dead string. Okay, so we're just like real loose with this, okay? Just shuffling, hitting some dead strings in the chord. All right, and then back to an E now. And you can just worry like the top half of it, the open E, 2 on the A, 2 on the D. And here, you kind of want to hammer on from the open G to the 1 on the G. Okay, and then just, once you do that, hit that E again. All right, and then we'll just keep that going, that A to E with kind of that shuffle strum, loose vibe to it. Go through that about 8 times. And the final time through, you do the A just as you normally would. Okay, but now we're going to finish on the F sharp minor. And you just hit that F sharp minor really big once and just let it ring for a couple measures. All right, so let's just do this up to speed now. Bridge comes along. New chords coming in here, nothing too wild. This bridge section, it'll kind of alternate one little subtle thing there each time we go through it. The first time will be one way, and then the second time we're going to essentially take something away. Third time will be just like the first time, and the fourth time will be just like the second time. So it just kind of alternates one little thing, and I'll point it out to you here in a second. Okay, so initially it's just going to start with the A chord. Can strum it. Okay, then you want to kind of play around in the A chord a little bit. Come down and add a 2 on the E with it. Open E. Come back to 2s on the G, B, and E. Hit that 2 on the E. Do like a open, 2, open, pull off, and then go to 2 on the B. Okay, just kind of playing around with that A chord, adding some open E to 2 on the E, pulling off. Okay, something like that. Just keep it nice and pretty sounding there. Then we're going to move to D chord. Let that ring for a few counts. Just before the measure's out, hit the B minor chord. Okay, 2 on the A, 4 on the D and G, 3 on the B, 2 on the E. Hold that B minor for the next measure. All right, and this is where the subtle difference happens. The first time through, we're going to hit a B7 chord, okay, which is just 2A, 4D, 2G, 4B. Okay, do that a measure. And the special note is, on the second time, you just want to do a normal B chord there. All right, and just hold it for that measure and the next measure, which every time would be a B also. Okay, so just the small little difference that happens there, take note of. And I'll play it the first and the second time, both styles. Okay, so like I said, go through that B chord for a measure. Then we'll get to the F sharp minor, couple open E's, back to F sharp minor. Essentially that intro riff that happens. Okay, so let me play it through how it would go the first time, and then I'll play through it again how it would sound the second time. And it's just a small little difference, so just let you hear both versions. Thanks for checking out the video, everybody. Like it, share it, leave a comment. It's always good to hear from you. Do me a favor and hit the subscription button. I put out a video pretty frequent, so you don't want to miss out on that. Check out the links in the description box below. I have really cool links for tablature books, all the gear I use, t-shirts, fun stuff like that. So thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.